Some new sponsors for 2024 got announced. A new logo for 2024 got announced. A new series on a new coast got announced. And we have a returning series plus a new member of the NASCAR family, all today on Shifting Gears.
High, push it, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Me?
Can I not push it in?
Stop anybody.
Come on, these guys! Way to go, boys! One hell of a job, man, one hell of a job. Thank you so much.
I am Alan Bailey. I am excited because we have a jam-packed episode. But before we get into it, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video in 2024. And you can also check out our second gaming and esport channel right here on YouTube, Team Chaos. The link is in the description below. We just started the NASCAR 2024 career mode with iRacing. The third episode went up today, and it's a doozy. You're going to want to stick around to the end on this one. I lose it. I have a full-on breakdown. It's great times. You go check that out because that's a lot of fun. And in between videos, you can also make sure that you log on to arnrace.com to check out the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Oh, there's so much to talk about, but the big thing that I want to mention right off the bat, it became official. It's something that we reported a little while back, that IndyCar and iRacing have come to a multi-year agreement to bring iRacing and IndyCar over to the iRacing service, I should say, or back, I should say. It's something that's been in the works for a while. It doesn't mean a console game is coming, but it was made official today, so go check out that story on arnrace.com. So our first story wasn't really a surprise to me per se, but it is kind of big news. The fact that the U.S. Air Force is back with 2311 and Bubba Wallace. Now, they sponsored him when he was over at Petty Enterprises in the number 43, and since that contract is year to year, that sponsorship more or less left. They ran low on the budget, but the budget seems to be healthy again over at the U.S. Air Force, and they've decided to go ahead and sponsor NASCAR again and Bubba Wallace. That announcement came today via social media. No paint scheme for 2024 or how many races or which races, but they're back, which is pretty cool. Speaking of incredibly well-funded sponsors, you have Rebel Bourbon, who has signed up to be Kyle Busch and RCR's primary sponsor for a number of races in 2024. Now, the announcement came via this spiffy little video that RCR dropped today. It's fine. We just know that it's going to be for the 2024 and 2025 season, beginning with the Spring Richmond race on March 31st. It's a very cool looking car, very RCR, very Kyle Busch. This is what I wanted to see when I saw Kyle Busch go over to RCR. I wanted to see Kyle Busch embrace the bad boy persona, and honestly, I wanted to see him in a black number 3, and this is the closest thing we're going to get to it because Austin Dillon wants to hold on to his Grandpappy's number 3, even though it's not really Grandpappy's number 3 anymore. So I think it's pretty cool. And yes, Kyle Busch is the guy that went from being sponsored by M&M's and Skittles to being sponsored by weed brands and bourbon. Oh, you gotta love it. Speaking of new looks for the 2024 season, Stewart-Haas Racing announced a brand new logo over the weekend. It's fine. I think it's just average. Is a new sticker really going to make this company faster and magically find some speed in the Cup Series? No. But for some reason, the Stewart-Haas Racing media team decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and release video after video over the weekend, and we're going to hype everybody up. And the videos did exactly the opposite of that. There was no hyping. Everybody online pretty much ripped Stewart-Haas Racing in half, rightfully so, because the videos came off very disingenuine. And you look at it, yes, Tony Stewart and Gene Haas are racers. But remember, Gene Haas owned the Cup Series program before Tony Stewart got involved, and it was pretty god-awful, and then Tony Stewart got involved, and it was pretty decent there for a while. And then Tony Stewart said screw NASCAR and went to NHRA, and he literally has started his own NHRA program and is racing there full-time next year and doesn't have time for the Cup Series. Gene is running his F1 team and doesn't have time for the Cup program, so right now Stewart-Haas Racing continues to be the ship without a captain, and we're seeing the results of it, or lack thereof, with so many DNFs, sub-20th, sub-30th runs. I don't have any faith in 2024. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see all four Stewart-Haas Racing cars end up in the playoffs, but I don't even think they're going to get a single car in the playoffs, which is really sad considering NASCAR gives playoff spots away to half the field, basically. So if you just show up on Sunday, you literally have a 50% chance of making the postseason because 16 drivers make the postseason, and there's only about 30 competitive cars out there. So I'm just saying, Stewart Haas Racing has a long uphill battle, and putting out stupid hype videos isn't going to help their case. Getting into the sim, working on the car, pit practice, these are the things that are going to really make them better. Maybe they need to focus on actual work on the racetrack and less of the hype videos that come off super disingenuine. We saw a very interesting crew chief swap happen for the 2024 season. You had Trackhouse announce this week that, and I'm going to butcher his name, I apologize, Matt Swiderski is joining the organization to be the crew chief for Daniel Suarez in the number 99 Chevy over at Trackhouse in 2024. Now, he's 42 years old, nearly 20 years in the NASCAR garage area. I do think that he is a guy who can help this organization, but the situation he came from was he was the crew chief over at the number 16 in Colleague Racing, where he was also simultaneously the competition director. What? How do you do both those jobs simultaneously? I sincerely want to know. Both of those are full-time jobs. Both of those are arguably 60-hour work weeks. How did he do it? Sincerely, I want to know. I wish Matt and Daniel all the best in 2024. Daniel is on the hot seat. He will have to perform in 2024 because he has Zane Smith and that SVG guy breathing down his neck. And if he has another lame duck year and doesn't win this year, he's probably out of a ride for 2025. But here's where things get interesting. Taking his place over at Colleague is Travis Mack, who takes over as the technical director and the crew chief for the number 16 car. And we did get confirmation that the 16 car will have a variety of drivers in 2024, which we kind of knew after Ty Dillon decided he's going truck racing instead of going cup racing because he simply didn't have the sponsor dollars behind him. I sincerely want to know for Travis Mack, how do you do technical director and a full-time crew chief? How do you balance those two extraordinarily busy jobs? I don't think it's a good idea. I think that this is Colleague, frankly, showing that they are struggling with the sponsors. They are struggling with paying the bills over there. I wish them the best. I wish that they could find enough to fully sponsor 2 cup cars, but it doesn't even seem like they have enough to sponsor 1 full-time cup car over there right now. So they're still clearly looking, and I wish them all the best trying to find some sponsors because it's a very tough gig in 2024 to find sponsors. But how about some happy news? Something that honestly everybody can get behind. Congratulations are in order to Jeremy Clemens. He announced the birth of Kennedy Wren Clemens, born on January 4th, so just a few days ago at 7 pounds, 15 ounces. Wishing mommy and baby the best, and congratulations to the entire Clemens family. It's always awesome when we see a new member of the NASCAR family, so sincerely, congratulations, guys. And here's something I really didn't see coming. Ray Evernham purchased IROC. Yeah, International Race of Champions, the series that ran originally from 1973 to 2006. Has been purchased, the brand identity and the rights by Ray Evernham and venture capitalist Rob Kaufman, who was one of the founding partners of Michael Waltrip Racing, have purchased the brand. They intend to race in 2024, and they intend to work out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Now, which tracks, how many races, when, which drivers? These are all questions that I don't even think Ray Evernham has thought of yet. Ray Evernham's the guy who has an immense car collection, including multiple IROC cars throughout all the decades, so it doesn't surprise me that this happened, but what does is the fact that Ray Evernham went out and started SRX, left after the first year, and is now starting IROC. It's very strange, to be very frank, because why would you compete against SRX at this point? Why not kind of merge SRX and IROC at this point and make one big, awesome series? SRX already has deals in places with tracks, with TV partners, with sponsors, with drivers. They have cars already designed that Ray designed. I guess Ray didn't like what he did the first time and wants to redo it, or at least go back to what IROC was doing originally, which is exactly what SRX is doing, it's just so confusing, and I don't really see the point to it, honestly. We don't need a second IROC series, and the series went away for a reason: lack of sponsor and lack of interest from the general public. It was a great series, but to be frank, it was wearing kind of thin in the mid-2000s, which is why it went away and dissolved, basically. Speaking of new series, and this one I am ridiculously excited about. I cannot wait to go to these. The ZMAX Cars Tour is expanding to the West Coast in 2024. I'm super duper excited about this. It's going to be kicking off the season at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Still getting used to saying that one, on March 2nd. This is an awesome little series. Honestly, when the Cars Tour was expanding, I guess we should say, on the East Coast, I was jealous as a West Coast fan. I was sitting there thinking, damn, I wish I could go to these races. I wish they were right down the street for me. And sincerely, they will be very soon. It's a 10-race schedule here on the West Coast, starting at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway in Bakerfield on March 2nd, then heading out to Irwindale for a couple races, up to the Stockton 99 Speedway in May, then out to the Bullring for a couple races in June and July, back down to Stockton on July 20th, and then Irwindale All-American Speedway in October, and Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway in November, ending out the 2024 season. Tim Huddleston, who now owns Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway and has the lease over at Irwindale Speedway, is kind of the guy who spearheaded this, and sincerely, I got a chance to work with Tim when I called a race in 2023 at Irwindale, filling in for some buddies of mine who call races out there normally at Low Budget TV. And Tim's an awesome guy. He really is. He's a guy who is what a track promoter should be. He's extraordinarily hands-on, former racer. He's a guy who gets it. And he's bringing that can-do, we're going to get it done, we're going to put on a hell of a show attitude to racing in Southern California, and he's doing a great job. I wish him all the best. I really do. Tim, you need help in the pits, bud. You need help on mic. You got a guy. I'm just saying, you got a guy in the wings, Tim. Give me a call. I'll be right there for you. But sincerely, I actually think I'm planning on going out to all, if not the entire 2024 schedule. And I'm thinking about doing some vlogs here for the channel. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to see me head out to these races and full-on cover them, do full-on race reviews, interviews, etc. with the West Coast drivers? Honestly, I think it's about damn time that the West Coast racers got some love from the East Coast community. And since nobody else has given them the kind of coverage I want to see done, might as well do it myself. Just go full Thanos on them. I'll do it myself. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? And while you're there, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video in 2024. And you can also check out our second gaming and esport channel, Team Chaos, with the link in the description down below. And you can log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I want to thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. For Shifting Gears, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.